clicked on this for a reason, because right now your life feels like an avalanche, an endless checklist of things to do, bills to pay, people to please, and you are buried underneath it. You're not looking for another 10-step plan. You're looking for the one thing, the one switch you can flip that makes it all make sense. I'm not going to give you another checklist. Checklists don't save you when you're drowning. But the promise of that title, it isn't a lie. You can't solve all your problems in 5 minutes, but you can make one decision in under 5 minutes that changes the entire trajectory of your life. One choice that gives all your pain, all your struggle, a purpose. And to understand the sheer, soul-shaking power of a choice like that, we need to talk about a man who stood on the edge of hell and made the greatest decision of all. Now, imagine a man who was also trapped by 50-meter walls, by monsters on the outside, and betrayal on the inside. But he possessed one thing that most of us have lost: a madness, a divine obsession. People called him commander, a leader, but he was something more. He was an obsession in human form, a fire in his eyes burning for a single question: what is the truth? For you, that truth might be launching your company, writing your novel, moving across the country. For Erwin, it was a basement. A simple basement he was willing to burn the entire world down to reach. He staked his eye, his career, his people, everything. And they called him reckless, selfish, even a devil. Because when you have a vision, a North Star that clear, the rest of the world goes out of focus. The distractions die. The opinions of others become static. Your comfort zone becomes enemy territory. You stop living 1,000 different lives on a screen, and you start living your one true life with brutal focus. This is the first step. Not a life hack. It's a cleansing fire. So forget fixing your life for a moment. Just answer this. That basement wasn't just about the truth of the world. It was the lifelong quest to prove his father right, to silence the doubt that had haunted him since childhood. Now I ask you, what is your basement? So you found your basement, good, but every treasure has a price, and we give that price a terrible name: sacrifice. The word itself feels like a loss, like something is being torn away from you. But what if you've been looking at it all wrong? In Erwin Smith's ledger, sacrifice was never a loss. Sacrifice was progress. Remember that final charge, when he sent the entire scout regiment, men and women he had led for years, straight into the mouth of hell. He wasn't just their commander, he was their guardian. He was riding right at the front, ready to die first. He knew it in his bones. Every soldier's death was not a defeat, it was a step forward. Every corpse was a rung on the ladder to humanity's future. They weren't just dying, they were investing their lives for a future they would never get to see. Now look at your life. That comfortable job with no future, letting it go isn't loss, it's progress. Those toxic friends who drain your soul, cutting them out isn't loss, it's progress. That short-term happiness, the weekend binges, the mindless scrolling that pulls you away from your basement, giving it up isn't loss, it is fucking progress. You are not losing anything, you are just trading your old self for the new one. So the real question isn't what you were willing to lose. The question is, what short-term happiness are you willing to set on fire today for the sake of your long-term impact? You found your basement. You're willing to sacrifice. But your greatest war isn't against the titans, your boss, or your competition. Your greatest war is against the person you face in the mirror every morning. And in that war, your greatest enemy is the lie. The lies we tell ourselves. I'll start tomorrow. I'm not good enough. What will people think? If I can just get through this, then I'll be happy. These lies, they are termites for the soul. Now look at Erwin. In that final moment, he wasn't just being honest with his soldiers. He was finally being honest with himself. His entire life, he carried the weight of his father's death, the selfish dream of the basement. He played the part of the devil for humanity's sake, but deep down, he was just a man, haunted by the ghost of his father and his own selfish dream. When he screamed advance, he became free, no longer a commander with a secret, just a soldier, ready to die for something larger than his own pain. This is your hardest battle, to tell yourself the truth, to look in the mirror and say, this relationship is over, it's breaking me, to admit, I am miserable in this career and I need a change, to confess, I am scared, I am lost, and I need help. This truth will burn, it will hurt, it might even break you, but it is the only way, because when you give yourself truth and belief, you don't create loyalty, you forge freedom. Freedom from the cage of your own lies. The man who charged at the Beast Titan was already free. Erwin died the moment he let go of his lie. So I ask you, what is the one lie that if you let go today would finally set you free? You faced your lies, you are free. But what comes next? This freedom is terrifying. The empty canvas is scarier than the cage you just left. And in that void, an old monster returns. Fear. Fear of failure, fear of the unknown, fear that you're an imposter. This fear can turn your freedom right back into a prison. But there is one force in the universe more powerful than fear. Erwin Smith, a leader, a strategist, a devil, he was all of these things. But beneath it all, he was just a child with a question burning in his heart. What's in the basement? Think about it. Titans, politics, death, nothing was bigger than his question. His hunger for knowledge became his reason to exist. And that shows us a profound truth. If you have a burning curiosity, a flame that always wants to know what's next, then fear simply melts away. Fear exists in the absence of a question. Fear lives in the land of, what if I fail? Curiosity lives in the land of, what if I find out? You want to fix your life? Stop trying to be fearless. Start being more curious. Never stop learning. Explore a new basement every day. Pick up that instrument. Read that book on history. Learn that skill. Look at your fear not as a monster, but as a locked door. Your curiosity is the key. The moment you ask, I wonder what's behind that door, the fear loses its power. The hunger to know becomes stronger than the fear of what you might find. Fear tells you to build walls to stay safe. Curiosity tells you to build ships to discover new worlds. You faced your lies. You are free. Now, what is the one question about your own life that you are dying to answer? You have a vision, you're ready to sacrifice, you're honest with yourself, you have a curiosity that burns brighter than your fear. You think, this is it, I've cracked the code. We all want to be the hero of our own story, the one who lands the final blow, the one who sees the dream through to the end. But what if the final step to fixing your life is accepting that you can't? What if the ultimate victory is learning how to let go? On that rooftop, between life and death, Erwin made his choice. When Levi was about to save him, Erwin, in his subconscious, swiped the syringe away. He wasn't fighting to live, he was finally giving up on his dream. The basement, just inches from his grasp, he let it go. Why? Because he finally understood some fights aren't ours to finish. Some dreams are bigger than us. Real growth isn't about winning every battle. Real growth is accepting that you don't have to be the hero in every scene. To set your ego aside, to pass your dream into the hands of another, that is not defeat. It is the purest form of love. That business you built, maybe someone else is meant to take it to the next level. That creative project, maybe it needs a new vision to be completed. Your children, they need to be allowed to make their own mistakes. Let it go. The final fix is not in holding on tighter, it's in the graceful surrender, in accepting that you played your part with all your heart. You raged, you sacrificed, you dreamed, and now it is time to rest, time to let the devil sleep. Irwin's mantra was simple: dream with madness, sacrifice with purpose, speak your brutal truth, stay curious like a child, and in the end, know when to let go. Your life isn't a checklist to be fixed. It's a story.